Hi, my name is Emma Aumack. I'm a senior here at Becton Regional, and I am the captain of the girls swim team. I swim 2 relays. I swim the 50 free for the 200 medley relay, and then I swim 100 free and the 400 free. And then as my individual race, I swim the 100 free. So I have been swimming for a really long time, and when I came to Becton, they didn't have a swim team. So me and a few other students emailed Dr. Sforza and noted our interest, and then from there kind of got the ball rolling. A lot of staff was responsible for getting it started. So it is definitely a really rewarding experience, especially last year. We didn't get to compete at all. It was only 2 times a week, so to have seen it evolve, and now we are a competing team. We have practice 4 days a week. It's really rewarding. We are considered a co-ed team, so the girls all compete against the boys. I'm not sure the exact number, but I want to say 20 to 25, so it's not super small. The more people that we have on the team, the better our chances are, the better, the more people you have to put in events. It's easier to win when you have more people. So I hope that more people are interested.
My name is Joshua Vazquez. I'm a senior, and I'm also the captain of the Becton Swim Team. I think it's a wonderful thing. A lot of kids were interested in swimming, but never really had a place to go. Me personally, I was part of another club, and a lot of the kids in that club were from Becton. And when this club started, it started as a club. We weren't a team at first. I think it was a great thing. There was a lot of interest, and at first we didn't know if it was going to happen or not, but we still tried it, and it turned out beautifully. A lot of kids showed up, a lot of interest. There was no competitions, unfortunately, last year, but I think it really came out well. I hope people join, even if you don't know swim that well, you just have a very basic background. I think you should join, because we'll help you get better, and by junior or senior year, you should be able to really compete and just really enjoy yourself in the meets and practices and things like that. They've done an amazing job being thrown into this with almost little to no experience in swimming, just trying to help out and do the best they can. They've done an amazing job. Our practices went from not knowing what we're really doing to a full structured practice with intervals and everything like that. We've come a very long way, and I'm very proud of the coaches, and I couldn't ask for better coaches, honestly. If you have a passion for the water, join. Even if you don't really know what you're doing fully, you don't understand how meets work and things like that, as long as you like the water and like to participate and be competitive, I think you should join. I think it's a wonderful experience. It's great for your body, it's great for your mind, something to do after school. I just think swimming is a wonderful sport.
This is my second year at Becton, and I think was it 2022, I interviewed for a job here as the new physical education teacher.
So I grew up in Connecticut most of my life. My grandpa went to Olympic trials for swimming, so I was very active in swim from a young age. Started swimming competitively when I was 6 or 7, just for my town rec team in the summer and winter, and then when I reached high school, I just joined the high school team. So I wasn't involved in any club teams or anything like that, or not in college whatsoever, but I definitely enjoyed swimming and did it most of my childhood.
Yeah, I definitely say I have a little less experience. I grew up down by the Jersey Shore. We had a shore house, so I was in the ocean all the time swimming. I took swimming lessons from age 4 to 13. Swam, I guess technically for a club team for about 2 or 3 years. We actually started a club last year. I was on by myself until Miss B was hired 2 months before the club season started. And once I sat down and started talking to Lauren, we really figured out that while I was the head coach last year for the club, that we had to go in a different direction because she had so much more expertise over me, with technique, teaching, all this stuff. I can get kids in there, I can get them to listen, but I wasn't the person to take them to the next level, and that's why we're lucky enough to have Lauren next to me, because she was really there. So that's how the team got started. Dr. Sforza brought us with an idea.
Just kind of got the kids in the pool last year, saw who was going to be coming up as we formed the team starting this year. Had a lot of freshmen come in this year from Maywood, which helped a lot build the team a little more and actually have that competitive conference nature this year. We were able to compete co-ed this year, but with the rules that says we can compete co-ed, but it has to be on the boys, in the boys' events. Now, with that being said, a lot of our female swimmers are strong swimmers. And with the conference that we're in being so small, we were definitely a lot more competitive than we anticipated going into the season. And as maybe overwhelming and kind of defeating in certain ways it was for the girls, I do think they held their own and we wouldn't have as many wins without the girls, honestly.
I truly think in the long run it's going to be better for us because eventually the goal is we're going to have two teams. The goal would be I would coach the boys, Miss B would coach the girls, and we have our own separate entities. So for our freshman girls now that are swimming against boys, if we can get enough people or girls to split it, by the time they're juniors and seniors, they're going to be so used to competing against young men that when they're finally going against somebody in their own gender, I think it's going to benefit us very well over time because they're so used to going against, you know, the boys trying to get their times, and I think it's going to really benefit us. So while it is a negative a little bit now when we're dealing with it, I really think it's going to turn into a positive down the line if we grow the program. Like we've had, you know, Gabriella Jascott, Emma Aumack, they've beaten boys straight up. Like absolutely smoked them up and down the lane. It hasn't even been close. It's been, and we get some parents coming in like, wow, you know, your girls can compete. I'm like, yes, we have really strong swimmers. You know, you don't know anybody until you get them in the water because you know you can do the eye test, you can judge somebody, but once they get in there with technique, I would put our girls up against, you know, a good amount of young men in this county as well. So I think the first goal, obviously our first goal was to win a meet this year. We won 4, which I was absolutely amazing anyway. But going forward, I think within the next 2 to 3 years, I think it'll probably take 3. The goal is to have enough bodies between the program where we'll still practice together, but on meet days, I'll just be with the young men and Miss B would just be with the young women. I think that, and once we do that, we can start competing with Rutherfords or Leonias that are the top of our NJIC conference that have been there for years. But I think we do have the quality of swimmers. It's just getting the bodies in there and the years just having the people cycle in and out.
Mm-hmm. I do agree. I think splitting is ultimately the goal. I think within the next couple years it might be challenging to get those numbers, but also obtaining the numbers to make sure we have the quality to be competitive as separate teams, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But my hope is with our program building that a lot of swimmers from especially Maywood that might be geared towards the, I don't know, Bergen Catholic, etc., those kinds of schools that have very strong swim programs kind of see the time and effort and quality that we've been trying to build and hopefully pushing them to come to Becton instead to swim. That's the goal. Emma, senior, student of the month, obviously, very hardworking student, very team-oriented, I would say. Truly a great leader, helps the younger kids a lot in their lanes, get them on track, that sort of thing. Josh, much more quiet than
timid.
Emma, very timid, but still a very strong swimmer. Both of them have swam club in their life, so they have those skills, but they also are very just all around great children.
One person we haven't really talked about is our manager, Anna. She's a senior as well. We couldn't do this season without her. She has been absolutely vital in keeping the scores, talking to officials, talking to the other team's managers, so Coach and I can go around the pool and we don't have to be by the scorebook because we trust her with everything. She's been a huge vital help. Emma, such a strong personality, always looking to get better. Hey coach, you know, can you time me? Can you watch my dive? Josh the same way. You know, Josh has internship and he was committed to coming straight from internship straight to practice with permission from Dr. Sforza. So just to show, because he technically could go home after internship, but he wanted to make the commitment to be on the team. So we got a special permission from Dr. Sforza and he was allowed to come straight from internship. It just shows the type of kid he is. He's just, you know, hardworking, but like Coach B said, a little soft-spoken, which we tried to work with him on, but just really, all 3 of them are just really great kids, and wherever they go on after college, whatever they want to do, I just know all of them are going to be very successful.
And just to say something else, swimming isn't one of those sports that's like you look up at the scoreboard and that's it. Like you really need the scorekeeper keeping the score. You need several officials around the pool to say who got first, second, third, etc. You need timers behind every single lane if the pools don't have touch pads, which all the time can malfunction anyways. So in order to successfully run a swim meet and me to simply just coach and that's it, it takes a lot of hands on deck. And that's where Anna's been crucial in doing that, because like one person cannot run a team and run a swim meet single-handedly. It's impossible. So all hands on deck is very important.